welcome to the show. Today it's 14th of November. Wow, time really flies. Hopefully, we'll have an interesting news segment because I got a little bit distracted by DSP. I wanted to talk about something else tonight. However, DSP is a guilty pleasure of mine. For those of you who are unaware, I used to watch him back in the day when Street Fighter 4 came out. He was very entertaining. Seeing him lose was entertaining. I actually got asked by someone, what exactly do you like about DSP? Why do people watch him? And it's because backseat gaming is funny to watch. And more importantly, like seeing someone lose is also funny. And seeing someone chimp out when the chat is making fun of him is double the fun. And so this is why people watch DSP. It's not because he's a good gamer. If you want to watch good gaming, you watch an esports player. If you just want to get entertained, you watch someone that spurs out. Okay, the microphone problem. The microphone problem has been addressed. What is it tomorrow? Tomorrow is Saturday, right? So I think it's the day after that I will have my co-host. We'll have Amalgamite here. So it's not tomorrow. But anyway. How he lost is why he got popular. His rage was funny. He lost his shit constantly. Exactly. This is what I tried explaining to people. A lot of my subscribers were asking, it's like, well, why are people watching Darkside Phil? Because he's not good at the games. He's not doing it. And it's like, well, that's precisely the point. People watch stuff because it's entertaining. They don't necessarily watch stuff because they want to learn to play a game. And so, like, seeing him spurg out while playing Dark Souls and being incapable at doing the bare minimum is why a lot of people do watch. And it's also the fact that he refuses to grow. I saw that chick, that VTuber from HoloLive, Calliope Mori. And she was a woman. You know, most women don't like playing violent video games. But she tried. Probably her company forced her. And she played Doom. Played it on a low difficulty level. Was really bad. She was literally like a polygon journalist. But I like a polygon journalist. Like, there was no reason for her to know how to play a video game. And so she's doing her best. You know, like, she barely understands how to move the camera, how to orient herself. But, like, she keeps practicing. And you can tell that it's genuinely her playing. Like, I don't think it was another person because, like, you can see how she is slowly improving. She's not giving up. She keeps playing. And by the middle part of the game, she actually knew how to move the camera properly, how to move the mouse, how the WASD works. Like, yeah, she was literally at that level. But she keeps playing, she doesn't give up. And by the end, she was a decent player. Like, she managed to finish the game. And that's not what you see with Darkside Phil. Now, Calliope Mori was actually making fun of the situation. She was laughing with the chat. She was vibing with the chat. While Darkside Phil would just raged, either gave up playing the game like he did with so many others, or he would start attacking the chat for making fun of him. And that's also part of the entertainment. That's also part of the fun. Because it's so unreasonable, isn't it? Like, what type of person does that? You know, like, your subscribers are the one that put food on your table. Why would you insult them? And the answer is, well, because they like being insulted. It's a sexual dynamic over there with this man. Hold on, let me put him on the screen. It's a little bit of a sexual dynamic. And apparently he features on Asmongold now because Asmongold made fun of a clip where he was begging for cash. Now, normally, right, like, if you're a person, you'd be upset about that. I personally would love if Asmongold made fun of me, because that's extra subscribers. Like, if your entire business model is for people to clown on you, then, you know, someone telling other individuals where the circle is actually a good thing. Look at his face. Look, it's almost like you caught him in the act. Kind of in the act. Like, Asmongold managed to find out that he's e-begging, and he's like, what?
The narrative, the hilarious narrative, is that DSP is a broke bum and begs all day. You have an issue with...
I mean, this narrative doesn't come from the ether. There's not a group of journalists sitting in a room drinking soy latte. It's like, okay, what can we say about DSP? Let's say that he's a broke bum. You know, oh, we'll go with that. No, like, there is... Jesus, what's wrong with his eyes, man? He looks like the man that saw too much. There is ample evidence on the internet with Darkside Phil saying that he can't pay the bills and he needs money. That's where the narrative is coming from, Phil. No one is making it up. No one is coming up with this bizarre narrative that's unfair. Like, you're the one that are saying you're struggling.
Me, come talk to me about it in person like a man. Publicly, I'm saying it to you right now. You're a bitch.
So he wasn't happy about the video, I guess. How many views did this video get? 900,000 views in one day.
Unless we get 50 subs by the end of tonight, don't ever ask anything of me ever again. Just sits here whining, bitching, complaining about things, wanting more. And
this is what I find interesting. Like, he actually treats his chat like that. SRC Maker, if I treat you like that, do I get more super chats? All jokes aside, though, I don't know how he pulls it off. Like, if I was to treat you guys this way, I would probably have even less subs. I would probably have like 50 viewers. Like, this is insane. No other content creator can pull it off. I have seen Bake Alaska tried it. He completely got off the internet after that. Like they harassed him, they humiliated him. Eventually, he had to leave the internet. Let's see, who else did this? Oh, Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph turned on his subs. I guess, like, he also has the power of DSP. Like, he, too, managed to cling to the internet. Although he did lose YouTube, so... I'm not sure it's related. Probably not, but still. The idea is, like, never go after your own subs. Every single time a content creator does it, they end up homeless. Except for DSP. And Ethan Ralph. Like, they're the two ones that can actually go ham on their own subs and still manage to come out of it fine.
doesn't support, so you get nothing.
Oh my, wait, this is a second video.
Phil was really mean to his audience. He said that they gave him no support and he was going to give them nothing from now on, which isn't what happened. What happened was I was talking specifically to the Kick viewers. There had been...
Yeah, but they're yours. You can categorize it if you will. You can break it down by deconstruction, sure, but they're still your subscribers. Like, we're aware you are talking to the Kick viewers. Yes, they're still subscribed to you. They're still your fans. You are still talking bad about your fan. That's like me saying, well, yeah, I wasn't talking bad about the people on YouTube. No, I was talking about the people on Discord. It's like, look, when people are saying, like, you're being rude to your fans, they include the Kick, they include the Discord, they include the Twitter, they include the YouTube, all the channels, right? Like, as long as someone is subscribed to you because they want to see your content, other people will label that as a fan. Now, if you want to be like, no, actually, I have like subcategories and I was just mean to like 20% of them, okay, fine. But that's not what people are talking about.
Been a big, sharp decline in support. It seemed to be directly...
So the out-of-context clip was making people think that you were begging for money, but the in-context clip is that you were only begging people on Kick for money? No.
No, seriously, right? Like, exactly what Asmongold is saying. He managed to articulate it better than me, right? He wasn't begging everyone for money. He was just begging the people on the Discord. The one on the Kick were fine. Come on.
Oh, I understand.
Oh, I hate that Phil asks for money. Then you shouldn't have fucked with my livelihood. I never had to until people did. You made the monster. You're Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh, shit.
Now you gotta live.
See, this is why people watch Phil. It's fucking entertaining. Like, you're laughing right now. I'm laughing right now. Everyone is laughing right now. This is quality content. Asmongold is absolutely right. Yeah. Like, imagine, like, watching this guy when you're depressed. You're going to realize my life is shit, but at least it's not like that.
With the monster you created, bitches. And if you don't like it, too fucking bad, because you don't have a time machine to go back in time and change what you already did.
Apparently, is now Cope fake tipping himself.
Let's see here. Wow, I just received an
Wait,
anonymous...
so he's inventing donations?
Can you do that? Can I do that? Is that legal? Can I donate to myself? Chat. Holy shit. Can I like donate $100 to myself?
$50.
See, now I'm not just watching to make fun of him. Now I'm watching him to learn. I mean, he's an experienced content creator. He has been doing YouTube for more than a decade, so.
What?
Because everyone that Asmongold talks about, positive or negative, gets a big boost, and people come to their content. No, I don't get that. Instead, all it was negative comments and downvotes on the on-demand videos.
Why did you do this? Yeah, why would I do that to him? I don't know why.
Publicly, I'm saying it to you right now. You're a
I don't think, like, Asmongold meant to do it. I mean, Phil probably knows that when you upload a video on the internet, most of the time it doesn't blow up, and sometimes it does. And obviously you don't know the consequences of it. Like I thought that Asmongold making a video, he will actually get subs. It turns out he didn't. Like, okay, it happens, right? But like, I wouldn't blame Asmongold because I don't think he did it intentionally. But still. Man, the controversies in 2025 are so weak and watered down, aren't they? I mean, there used to be, like, actual slurs on the internet and genuine fights and harassments and shit, and now it's like, oh, he's an e-bagger. Oh, no, I'm not e-bagging. I'm only e-bagging from 10% of my subscribers. You're a meanie beanie. You got people to unsubscribe and downvote me. Okay. Like, remember when Pokimane went on after It's a Gundam, and there were, like, the actual, donor wars, and the whole demonetizations of channels and stuff, or when you had like that dear lady at Twitch saying that I got all the power and you guys are going to be so afraid of me. I miss those days. I definitely do. No, V, I'm into BDSM, but not humiliation fetish. Isn't it the same, though? Christopher, thank you for being a member for 15 months. Last time Asmongold covered you, you asked him to stop. I did it as a joke. Like, by all means, keep covering me. But I did ask him to stop because I was embarrassed, to be honest. Like, hearing my own voice, it's incredibly embarrassed. And also, I don't want the channel to become too big. Although now I may have changed my mind. So the reason that I nerfed this channel, I used to have the same numbers as Arch does during Archcast. I used to have like 500, 600 viewers last year. The reason that I changed is because COVID happened. And during COVID, I saw many people getting banned for the tiniest reason. And that made me a little bit paranoid. And so I started deleting streams. I started streaming at unusual hours. I didn't invest anything into content. And I was from 500 subs, I went all the way down to 300, and from 300 now I'm down to 65. And so I am a little bit concerned. I do feel that this channel is dying, in which case I'll try streaming on other channels, and if it doesn't work, I'll just upload videos. I mean, it is what it is. I understand the market. If it happens, it happens. But as long as I still manage to get like 100 and 150 subs, I'll keep the lights on. I will try to get some co-hosts eventually, and I mean, I already have Amalgamite. Maybe I can get someone else. I'll try to improve the content that I'm making, and if it doesn't work, you know, it just, I guess it's not meant to be. But yeah, I do regret a little bit during the COVID era that I started deleting my videos, and that completely fucked with the algorithm, and it also destroyed the subscribers that I had, because they like when you're streaming, it's a little bit different than making videos. You have to stream consistently and at the same time to create a ritual and a habit for people. And so even if the algorithm doesn't announce that you're streaming, people know, oh, it's that hour of the day, and they come to watch. We need internet to fracture, so old internet back. I don't think it will happen. I don't think, like, it's kind of like saying in America you want the Old West to come back. I don't think it's ever going to be possible. At least not in our lifetime. Go big or go home, V. That's the mentality I have when I go in casinos in Vegas. Yeah, I mean, it's also like this channel being more of a news channel. It's also the material that I have. Like, in some weeks, if the news is interesting, I can get 200, 300 viewers. Other weeks, like this one, for instance, where nothing much happens, the shows can be a little bit more low energy. So I do agree that I need to go bigger. Jack Chan, thank you for the $5. I super chatted you a bunch of times to play video games on this channel, but you don't want to. Did Ruby the Wayward Mira even come out? Well, the thing is, I used to play video games on this channel, and I always had like 25% of people when I was playing. I can try playing them again, that's fine. But I remember like when I was playing Street Fighter, normally I would get like 300 viewers, and if I played Street Fighter, I would get like 50 people watching. And so sure, you know, I can try playing some XCOM or Xenonauts 2, I think it's out. Right? Like I can try playing some video games, we'll see if it genuinely improves the viewership or not. 1 in 10 streams do a dispatch. Street Fighter is bad for streaming. Dispatch is engaging. Isn't Dispatch kind of old now? Because this is another reason that I don't stream. Like, I wanted to stream Europea Universalis, but then I realized that a lot of content creators already finished it because they got early access to it, right? And so, like, by finishing it, I mean, like, they spend hundreds of hours in it. And then it becomes really uninteresting for people. So if I stream a video game, I'll have to find something. Maybe Heroes of Might and Magic, they're releasing a new one. Xenonauts 2. But it has to be like something that people actually find interesting. Bipedal Species pointed to a solution. The Pirate Software one. You give me $100 and I super chat that $100 back at you. But yeah, but like, does it work? And not to mention, like, I don't want super chats. I mean, I do want super chats. That's good. I want viewership, because that's channel health. Like, I would rather have like 300 viewers right now and have the super chats than to have double the super chats and less than 100 viewers, right? Because when you have more viewers, it actually goes with the algorithm and it pushes your channel and people get to see it. And it's also easier to stream. Like, when you have few people and they're barely talking in the chat, it's difficult to bounce on various topics and to interact. When you have like Asmogol has thousands of subscribers, right? So like, he can look at the chat and immediately bounce on something. The Vinor sword on Rumble. I don't think Rumble has growth unless you have like a contract with them, unfortunately. Like, most of the people that have a lot of subscribers on Rumble, they probably have a contract with them. I do have Gator Willis, and that does make me happy. Scott Jones from the United States sends his greetings. Where from the US are you? Like, that's also something that I should ask. Because I know I have a guy from Texas and a guy from New York. Anyway, good evening, V. Any comments regarding the recent protests in Romania? The budget deficit is a bitch. Well, the budget deficit in my country, for those of you who want to know, is what drives me insane. So, during COVID, I was actually spurging out that this is going to kill the economy. And after COVID, it turns out that I was right. It actually did kill the economy. And the thing that really annoys me is that everyone around me was like, no, you got to keep people safe. You're just being selfish. You just want to get out of your house. You need to keep grandma safe, you piece of shit. And so, after COVID, turns out that I was right. The economy went to shit, and the fact that there's a war in Ukraine didn't actually help. And so now the government, in its infinite wisdom, decided to raise taxes on everything, especially the little guy. And so now I have to pay more sales tax, now I have to pay more insurance, more health insurance tax. Turns out that if you raise taxes, it's not like mathematics, like you raise taxes and you make more money. It's not like that. You raise taxes, people spend less. People do more tax evasion. And so this is what's happening in my country. They raise taxes, and people just started saving, stopped engaging with the economy as much. And it turns out it wasn't a good idea. And the high taxes remain. So we'll see what they do now. I guess like they can raise taxes some more. You know? And this is pretty much how leftists destroy economies. They cause inflation and they raise taxes. Lenin actually said, like, grind them between the gears of taxation and inflation. SRC Maker, just spitballing. How about you host your own D&D campaign with F-top stories, try to do other content? I could, once I finish my video game and I have more time, I'm actually thinking of doing a D&D campaign. You think you have high taxes if you come to France. The thing with taxes in Europe is that a lot of them are hidden. Like, for instance, officially, you only have an income tax in Romania, which is not that big. But then you have like CASE and CASSE, which is basically the welfare taxes, right? So you have like a tax for healthcare and a tax for a pension. And those add up. And then you have like the VAT tax, which is the equivalent of a European sales tax. And then you have like all the stealth taxes, like gas has a luxury tax. I don't know why, but it does. Cigarettes, alcohol, a lot of other products, they got luxury taxes. And then you have carbon taxes. And when you add everything up, you realize that actually you're paying around 50 to 60% of what you're making to the government. And I don't know if France has more or less, but for a nation where most people make less than 1,000 euros per month, it's not that great. Sergeant, thank you for the 25 run. Made some money from the stock market. I'll buy you Expedition 33 if you want to play it on streams. Again, I can play them, sure. The problem is, though, when you play a video game that was released and it's old and it's story-based, like Expedition 33 is, most people aren't interested because they already saw the game. And so if I play something, it would either have to be something new that people haven't seen yet, or it would have to be something that's multiplayer or that offers repetitive play. I also remember like playing League of Legends and most people didn't like it. Green tax will be going up year after year. The thing with the green tax, when you realize that everything that humans do produce carbon, if you're going to consider carbon as the sin that needs to be taxed, then you can literally start controlling the economy. You can have socialism without calling it socialism. So you can regulate whichever aspect of the industry you want. You can subsidize or you can tax various parts of the economy. And this is pretty much what the European Union is doing. It's not to protect the environment. It's basically a protection racket for whatever companies they prefer. And a way to extract wealth from the people. Do stuff that lets people vote and pay for voting, like Arch does. I don't know how. I'll have to watch the Archcast a little bit more and see it. But again, like the thing with Arch is that he's got 1,000 viewers while I have 93. And so asking you guys to pay for a vote when you can just post in the chat and I can see it, I don't think it's going to work out. No, I need to go to other content creators, ask them to promote my show. And I need to start improving my show as well. This is how it's going to be. Arch is streaming in 2 minutes. Oh, what date is today? Is it Friday? I thought he's streaming on Saturday. I'll probably raid him if that's the case. All right. Well, I mean, this is pretty much the whole shtick with DSP. I was actually surprised that Asmongold managed to get close to 1 million views by just streaming about him. Okay, here's something that you guys should know. If you're in Europe, they're pushing chat control again. A lot of Americans seem to support it. It's kind of fucking insane. We live in a globalist society where obviously you don't have to be in a country in order to support or be against the legislation, because like that's how the internet works, especially on X. And so I see a lot of Americans, whenever the European Union is pushing something to protect the children, a lot of Americans are in the comment section offering support. And so what is this European chat control thing? I noticed that America is kind of moving in that direction. Well, actually, the entire world is moving in that direction. The idea is that everyone on the internet is a criminal, and you gotta prove your innocence. And to prove your innocence, you have to let the government go through your emails, your text messages, your private photos, everything, right? Like everything that's online, the government expects to see. Of course, you can't do that with the government. Like, if I want to see what my politician is doing and I install a spyware on his computer, that would be a crime. But if the politician forces me, then it's fine. Now, obviously, the interesting thing is that the politicians aren't forcing people personally, right? So, like, they're not telling me that I have to show them shit. What they are doing is they're forcing, well, like the 5 or the 4 big social media giants. And they're basically saying, we need a backdoor to see all of the text messages, all of the private conversations, everything that happens, because we're worried about kids. Now, back in the day, if you try to police things like child pornography, because this is some argument that's constantly being used, is child pornography. Okay, if you want to police child pornography back in the early 2000s, you could do it in a way that's not intrusive at all. Basically, the only way to produce such content required someone committing some serious crimes. So, like, they needed a studio where they could film, and then they needed to molest children. That was the only way that this type of content could be produced. And so, it was extremely rare. Right? Like, first of all, you need to have a person that's mentally sick, like a disgusting psychopath. Then you need to have that disgusting psychopath willing to do the crime and then willing to film it. And so the amount of CPU on the internet was finite. It wasn't, I don't know if it was small or large, but it was definitely a finite number. And so what the authorities did is, like, they would have a database. Whenever they caught someone, whenever they found someone, they would have the hash of that picture in a database. And then when you open the forum or a website, if you worked with the authorities, they could give you the hash numbers. And then when someone uploaded such a picture, they would get flagged, right? So, like, no one has to actually check someone's messages or spy on someone's conversation. It was automated. If someone uploaded something like that, it would get flagged and the authorities would be notified, right? So that's how you policed child pornography before. The problem now is that with the advancement in AI and with the changing of definition to include even art, so stuff like anime, manga, you know, that type of stuff where you can create it from the ether, basically, like you don't, like anyone can be an artist and doodle My Hero Academia 17-year-old. The number of child pornography on the internet has, I mean, it's infinite now, because every day there's like more manga artists drawing more shit. Some people using AI to generate stuff and uploading it. And so the government is saying that the only way to police the internet because of this is to make sure that every message that you post, and your mother posts, and your grandfather posts, and your child and your granddaughter, all of them have to be monitored through AI or human reviewed all the time, right? So, like, this is pretty much like saying back in the day, every single letter that you send to your grandma has to be intercepted by the postman, opened, read, and censored. Now, if it was just child pornography, it would be acceptable for some people. I would still complain. I would think that, okay, listen, you need to find a different solution. I agree with it on principle, but the execution is shit. I don't think that people should be spied on. I believe in wiretapping laws that the US made for a reason. I think, like, the secret of correspondence is important. I think people's privacy should be important. And so, but I would still understand if other people were, okay, fine. However, this is not what the government does. The government is going to start looking for misinformation, hate speech, things that go beyond the original measure. They're going to go into mission creep. And so, it's weird to see Americans support the European Union that wants to pass chat control. But it is what it is, you know. Because the thing is, like, they're basically saying that they want the European Union to read their messages, because that's the only thing that will happen. Like, the European Union, if they can ask Twitter for a backdoor into the website, and they want to see every single DM, they want to see all these things. Obviously, like, there's going to be American citizens there, you know, because, like, Twitter doesn't know. I mean, Twitter does know, but, like, the government doesn't know if Skullfuck 47 is French or American. And so they're going to say, okay, well, Skullfuck47 insulted the German Greens. We want his ass. And Skullfuck47 may happen to be an American, right? But like the messages would still be given to the government. SRC Maker, thank you for the $10. I know what you're going to say, V. The government only care about 70% compliance. But if they ban encryption, I can just write my own. I've been planning a custom written signal-like app with my dev friends. No, that's not how it goes, right? Like, obviously, real criminals are going to find ways around it. This, like if you're looking at the fact that the law is meant to catch criminals, it isn't. Because if the criminal knows that the place isn't safe, like, obviously, he's going to move to another platform, right? And they're going to do something like you say. But the way it's intended is that the major platforms, so like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, I think Discord as well, maybe Steam, right? Like the major platforms, from the perspective of the people, nothing changes. Like you go on Facebook and you're talking to your mom in DMs and you're talking to your friends and you don't notice anything different. But if the government wants to target you, like let's say you want to become a political leader, right? So like you're in Germany, you join the AfD, and you have a chance at winning. Well, the government now can actually look through all of your messages. They can find something with AI that is embarrassing, like maybe you have a mistress, maybe, I don't know, like the tax evasion or whatever, They find something. Now, they're not going to act on it because they don't want to be viewed as the Stasi. But what they can do is they can leak it to the press. And that's pretty much how the Soviets also operated. Sergeant, thank you for the 25. A while back, I did ask Craig from Side Scrollers if he will have you on his show. He said yes. You said you didn't have time for that. Things have changed. I now do have time for that. I'll have to talk to Craig from Side Scrollers. So wait, I'm a criminal now. No, I said that this is how criminals act. Yes, and in the eyes of the European Union, you would be. Why would you attempt to block the fair government checks? Like they actually did that in Britain. I remember they installed like CCTVs, and this was around 2018. It wasn't COVID yet. And they installed CCTVs, and they wanted to install a facial recognition program. So the police was like monitoring people that were walking the street. And there was like this guy that sees the CCTV camera and covers his face. And the police immediately arrest him. And they started asking, like, why are you covering your face? And it's like, well, because I don't feel comfortable with the camera. Oh, what do you have to hide? Like, no, you're not supposed to. And he's like, well, am I not allowed to cover my face? But, like, basically they forced him to uncover his face, right? So what you're saying is not far from the truth. Yeah, like, if you value privacy and you want to create an encryption program and you're trying to do it so the government can't monitor you through the official apps, yeah, you're sus. And the reason they will fuck with you, this is the most important one, because I actually know people that work in this type of environment, right? So, listen, the reason they fuck with you isn't because, like, they think you have something to hide. The reason they fuck with you is because you're challenging their authority. Like, if the government says everyone on the internet should not have encryption, and we should be able to check what everyone is uploading 24/7, the moment that you go around that, and you're like, okay, well, I'll make my own platform, their problem isn't that they're thinking, oh, this guy wants to hide something from us. No, because they're aware autistic people exist. Their thing is going to be this cheeky little shit is challenging our authority. BRG James says has got a new idea for World of Warcraft, but infinitely better and designed to consume all mankind in its scope. I don't think World of Warcraft would be popular nowadays. The major reason why World of Warcraft was popular is because it came out in a time where online gaming was just becoming a thing. So before World of Warcraft, you had LAN games. You had to go to a LAN party, connect your computers to the internet, and you could play a video game with 5, maybe 6 other friends. And playing a video game with 6 other people was already considered crowded. Like if you played Quake with 6 people, that was insane. Now, World of Warcraft comes out, and you can play a video game with millions of players. And that was just mind-boggling. Like that to people was like, hold on a little bit, how is this possible? And if you look at World of Warcraft, like the game itself isn't amazing. I mean, it's not that complex, right? Move out of the fire, maintain the rotation, do the side quest, kill 12 wolves, come back. The game itself is kind of meh. But the community was amazing. And so, to answer your question, if you wanted to make another World of Warcraft game right now, I don't think it would stick. I don't think it would stick because you don't have like that novelty of playing a game with millions of other people. That's only part of the reason, V. World of Warcraft had a lot of competition when it came out. EverQuest, Ultimate Online, etc. Yeah, but they weren't optimized to fight lag. I remember like playing some of these MMOs before, and one of the major issue was that when you played it, it would lag a lot. Like you needed a really good internet connection, and back then they were expensive. World of Warcraft comes out and everything is smooth. Like everything is really perfect and nice. And so that's also one up. And also the fact that, well, World of Warcraft had Warcraft 3 going for it, which was one of the best strategy games ever made. And it was also the fact that it's made by Blizzard. And finally, they streamlined the experience. Like they made it approachable for normies. Compared to other MMOs, Warcraft was pretty accessible. They would call it easy to learn, difficult to master. Hot take, Roblox is the new World of Warcraft. I disagree. Roblox is Second Life. So Second Life used to be this very cringe game that furries used to play. And it was worse than Roblox, actually. If you think about like child protection and stuff, children on the internet were never safe, and they're actually far safer now than they used to be in the past. But back then, yeah, like you had this thing called Second Life, and it was just like filled with smooth and furries. It was like probably the furry community, and obviously like there were children there. No one cared. There were no moderators, no nothing. And now, because we're in a different era where people are more hyper aware, even though like things are better, Roblox is something of a bygone era that's about to go away. Because Roblox, while all the other video games have adapted and they have understood, okay, the internet is not the Wild West anymore. People don't think it's the responsibility of the parents anymore. Like they want us, the companies, to parent their children. And most companies, they did actually start doing it. For example, Blizzard. When Blizzard released Hearthstone, they just removed the chat. And that way, you know, they don't care if there's like a little girl over there playing with a 45-year-old man. There's no chat. They can't interact. And so, like, other companies, they actually started installing filters, installing AI, removing chat, removing player interaction, while Roblox didn't. And so you end up in a situation where everyone is freaking out about Roblox. But my opinion is that if I had the time machine and I would bring Second Life into 2025, I have no idea how people would react. Because, like, Roblox, again, is milquetoast compared to that other shit. And I do think, like, worse than Roblox, you actually have VR chat. Like, there are so many VR chats that aren't regulated. And I think, like, the reason for regulations is that a lot of people my age, we grew up with feminism that constantly said that, well, everything is political and everything has to be regulated. Like, the internet needs to be made safe. You need trust and safety. You need blah, 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 right? And so people with this mentality, when they actually interact with the product that has no such thing, like, for example, the IRC of the 90s, right? Like, they freak the fuck out. But they don't go to VR chat because VR chat is usually something for young people. It's for Zoomers. Like, you need to put the VR headset on. It's clunky. A lot of adults don't like it. This is why Meta failed. And so VR chat is actually free from the Karens. And this is why you have freedom. Now, the interesting thing is, like, when you have freedom, you actually have, like, amazing content. You know, you have, like, the Knuckles meme, right? Like, the Ugandan meme. Do you know the way? Like you got, like, all this shit. You got an anime girl that talks like a guy. But you also have, like, illegal stuff. Like, they go hand in hand. There's no way to separate them. Either you get sanitized Facebook shit, or you get the 4chan of the 90s. Unfortunately, there is nothing in between. Speaking of, though, like, let me show you something if I can find it. Just so you can understand the memes I'm talking about on VR chat. Problem is, I don't think I have it saved. Someone sent to me something hilarious from VR chat, and I'm trying to see if I can still find it. But I think it's going to be, and it's gone. I'll probably try and get it for the next stream. And we'll watch it then. The people making dumb rules for us are the same people that need wording content may be hot. Yeah, see, the interesting thing about wording content may be hot, I actually had a little bit to think. And I was like, is it that people are genuinely that stupid? And they do not understand that hot coffee is hot. Like, why do you have a culture where you need to put wording content may be hot? And when I did some fact checking and a little bit of digging, I realized that the situation is a little bit more complex. So it all started at a McDonald's, where the girl was served, I think, like coffee that was extremely hot. Like, she actually got burns that require medical treatment. Like, that's how hot the coffee was. And I think, like, this was the way that they were brewing coffee at the time. Like, they had this machine that was constantly heating it up. And so she sued McDonald's, not because she didn't know the coffee is hot. She sued McDonald's because the coffee was insanely hot. Like, it was so hot that it actually gave her burns. So that's where the thing comes. But the other one is like, look, most people, they don't really care about justice and practicality and whatnot. What most people care about is how they can make money for themselves and their family. And if they know that they can sue a company because they didn't put a label, they're not going to judge the thing in principle. It's like, oh, well, I mean, did I not know that doing this is bad? Of course they did. But they're being told by a lawyer, hey, look, you can sue the company, you can make money. Like, for example, right? This is how it works in the real world. Let's say you get a device to mow the lawn. And you're mowing the lawn, and then you do something really stupid that you're not supposed to do, and you injure yourself. Now, you're going to end up in the hospital for treatment. And in the hospital, chances are there's a lawyer there. And I do know, like, there were people at my university that went and practiced law into Canada or into America. And that's pretty much what they did. Like, they would actually go to the hospitals and talk to the patients. And they would tell the patients, like, look, there's a lawsuit here. Like, you can actually sue the company because they didn't put a label. Now, the person knows that if the company had put a label, they would have gotten hurt regardless. Because, like, they knew that the tool is dangerous, but they misused it. Whether it's because they were in a rush or because they didn't care, they still got hurt, right? And they know it's their fault. But when you're approached by a lawyer and he tells you, look, you can make some money off of it, right? Like, you can sue the company because they didn't put a label, and you can win. And so, you do need a couple of people doing this, and then companies are going to start putting labels like, oh, warning, hot, blah, blah, blah. You know, don't run because the floor is wet. Check your DMs. Bring LAN parties, V. Give me a second. Bring LAN parties, V. I built LAN party PC with a carry handle. P2W98SA custom visa. Monitor right to the case. Powered from the PSU. I'm building a Ryzen 7 version with 5G mobile data. Okay, let me check my DMs. This is a beautiful PC. The thing though is, well, your hobby is fascinating, and I do wonder, like, if in the future, you know, like 2100, you won't have people that still try to recreate old computers. The thing is, like, can you still do LAN parties? I mean, obviously you can take 5 computers and go into a house and then connect them. But what I am trying to ask is, do computers have the ability to be connected through a LAN cable now? Because, like, you just connect to the Wi-Fi, right? Yeah, no, I would like to do a LAN party, I suppose. But, like, what would you play? Because if you think about it, like, most modern games require an account, and you play on their servers anyway. So I suppose, like, the only advantage of being in a LAN party is the fact that you're there with the guy. But, like, other than that, it's still not going to be the same experience. The reason, like, LAN parties were cool is because there was no other way to play the games, right? So, like, you lived in a world where you definitely do not play multiplayer. Unless you make a LAN connection. I actually remember there was something that the people at my neighborhood did. It was pretty fucking awesome. All of the kids in my neighborhood, they had LAN cables. Like, okay, so I need to show you something. Hold on. Now that you got me going by my childhood. So, the annoying part is that I got excluded. So, I grew up in a neighborhood, chat. I grew up in a neighborhood that looked kind of like this. Right? I mean, it's not the same neighborhood, but it's a pretty spot on. And every single night we would go out, and you had, like, kids from various places, like, say, like, the kid from here and the kid from here, and I'm living over here, right? And we're all going out and we're playing in the inner courtyard. Now, computers come along, and they're extremely expensive when they're first out, and many parents can't afford the computer. Mine didn't. But, like, other kids did, and what they did is they made a local area network. They brought a lot of cable, and basically, like, you had the wire. You had the wire from this house going into this house and going into this house. Like, it was obviously, like, a wire that, you know, had no authorization or no license. Sometimes, like, an old lady that remembered that back during communist era, like, they sent the Secret Service guys, and they dug a hole through her roof in order to listen in, and she doesn't trust the wire, so she cut it. And so, like, they had to rewire it through a different way. But anyway, that's how they did an internet. But it wasn't, I mean, internet in the sense that it was, like, completely separated from everything else. Like, it was internal, right? Like, only, like, you had an internet with the chat box and everything, only for our neighborhood. A secure local area network. Okay, fine. And when I got my computer, I couldn't connect to that because, like, the wire was already made, and it wasn't, like, plug and play. Like, I think, like, they had a server, it was called back then, or a switch. Sorry. And it only had, like, for 6 people. And I was the 7th, and I got left out. But they would play Counter-Strike every single night. And they would play other things as well. And they would talk to each other. And I was left out. And I was really butthurt. Until the internet came along. Like, the way the internet came was through neighborhood networks. Like, you didn't have ISPs like you have now, juggernauts, right? You had like tiny neighborhood like ISP, like a small company. Mine was called Voodoo, right? So like Voodoo Internet. And if you're into a network that Voodoo Internet provided, you could connect to them. And usually every single network had like, neighborhood had like 3 or 4 of these companies. And eventually they got bought out by larger companies. And the larger companies got bought out by even larger ones. And you have the situation where you have today, where you can censor the internet just by legislating the ISPs. But yeah, those were the days. Intranet. Yeah, intranet. Private network, is that what it's called? We have entire areas. The councils are trying to force people out, and they run them down harder now with the internet. Looks like the 80s to me, not even Bronx, Scotland in parts. Some are like that. Oh, in Eastern Europe, most places are like that. But it's interesting to see that even in the West, you have that shit. Alright, chat. I'm going to hand you to Arch now. And you're going to notice that Arch doesn't even address us. Like, he doesn't even acknowledge that we exist. I raided the man so many fucking times. Not once did he say, V, thank you. But you know what, chat? I'll raid him again because it's the right thing to do. Arch is a friend of mine. And I do not need to have a friend's gratitude. I just do it because it's right. He helped me in the past, and so I'll help him now. What the fuck is this? I got the automatic concept. Help viewers learn more about unfamiliar terms without leaving the video. Concepts mentioned in your video may automatically appear in the description. What? More AI. Yeah, YouTube apparently is adding ways for you guys to learn. You can now learn about concepts. I can rate Pippa. I'm not gonna do that. Why the fuck is... Like Pippa must know something about live streaming that I don't. She uploaded 2, 4, 5 different live streams. Okay, yeah, maybe I need to do this. Because like this is maybe a way of people promoting their live streams. So you get like... Look at Pippa. Right? Like, if she does it, then it must be the meta. She's got, like, Saturday stream lined up. She's got the Halloween drop lined up with merch. She's got What Am I Doing With My Life? She's got Reserved. She's got Welcome Center, Offline Waiting, and another one. So, this is, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so, like, she's lining up the live streams so that people gather upvotes and shit. That's not a bad idea. I should be able to do it as well. Then we have what? We got the Mercury Batter. They're doing it as well. Tomoe is doing it. So only I'm not doing it. I'm missing on a meta. Shit. Anyway, I'm going to give you to Arch, which is playing Anno Pax Romana. So hopefully you guys will enjoy. And I'll see you on my main channel. Take care.